from cutting out the housing of the inmates, that's how you fund it.
Prisons for them here in Los Angeles. Where are you going to put these inmates? You going to put them in county jail downtown? It doesn't work that way. You know, they wind up building some prisons or a separate jail just for, you know, the death row inmates. And again, go back to the question I asked at the beginning. For what useful purpose did the death penalty serve? I mean, some of these individuals are horrific individuals. I never want to see them out of prison. I'd like to punish them as much as you can. And by keeping them in custody in a double cell without any of the privileges, that to me is punishment.
Okay, yes, right over here. Your name and where you're from.
My name is Mike. I'm from Los Angeles. If you want to save money, let's talk about putting reasonable limits on public service pension funds and other things relating to military activity. But I want to get to something you said, Michelle. I used to be for the death penalty, thinking about Charlie Manson hanging eyeballs on the mirrors and things like that. But then I've seen things that sort of contradict what you're saying. You're talking about the quality of judgment, the quality of the judges. The judges in California, many are very good, but there are some who are egoistic, hasty in their decisions, and even sloppy. That's not good. You say the police don't try cases. Yeah, what's wrong with what I'm saying? You say that the police don't try cases, but they circle the wagons. They put in false information. And just go to Albuquerque and look at the police department there. It's pretty lousy what's going on. And it's an example that I think you should deal with. California, if you enact this law, it'll be in process for a long time. The quality of judging will change, but the lawyers will be able to get in there and manipulate things, and the prosecutors will get more and more prosecutions, more notches on their weapons. That's not good. I agree with you, Mr. Garcetti.
The question is, what's wrong with what you say?
Yeah, what's wrong with what I'm saying? All right. I didn't talk as long as the gentleman.
So the question is, what's wrong with what he said?
Because you're wrong. I'm just kidding. You know, there's a lot of skepticism about our entire justice system right now. I know none of us have missed this. There's a lot of skepticism and there's a lot of criticism of the system, and there should always be some skepticism and some criticism. It's the checks and balances that keep us fair. At the end of the day, what you have to ask is, does anyone else have a more fair system than we do here in the country, in the nation? Can anyone be more fair than we are being now? And then we have to turn our eyes back on ourselves and say, even if we are better than anyone else, can we be more fair? So it's a self-examination process that we always have to go through, and you, society, are part of that examination process. It's the criticism of the system that keep it honest. But at the end of the day, I do think that we have the best system anywhere, and that's about as much as you can ask for.
Right here in the front, yes.
My name is Patricia and I'm from Los Angeles. Why is the cost of execution so high versus what I read, $30,000 to $45,000 a year to keep someone in prison? I don't understand why the cost of execution is so high.
It's not simply the cost of execution, it's the entire process. And it begins right here in Los Angeles County. If we make a decision to seek the death penalty, you're taking a case that could be maybe resolved within a year or so. You're going to make that now a multi-year case with probably more than one lawyer on the case. Certainly the defense is going to have more than one. That's usually a public defender. Usually it's not going to be, you know, a privately retained lawyer. They're going to have investigators. It's going to take much longer to simply to try the case. So all those costs are added there. Once you get the conviction, then the process goes into play. 20, 30, we had a case reversed, was it 2 or 3 years ago? 32 years, and they reversed it at that point. Well, all that time, you are paying the cost, not just of the appellate process, not just for the court reporters and everything else that's being involved there, but for this, what I consider to be luxury housing. there. That's why it costs so much different. Put them in the general population. And don't be afraid they're going to kill others. They will do the study that they did when they were all freed under Rosebird. And that